Well, welcome once again with yours truly, The Empowering Moments with Dr. Frankie Bell. Every time I start this show, I have to thank you for allowing me to come in your homes. I get so humbled every time I hear the stories of how it's changing and impacting the community. I know it's none of me and it's all God. And I hope that something we share on this show is allowing itself to come in your spirit and resonate something, crank up something in you, make you want to be better. Because I know hearing your stories make me want to be. Again, we have a wonderful guest, someone that I have watched over social media, have had the opportunity to be in the presence of, and I thought it would be only fitting that she comes on here to inspire some of you. She is an entrepreneur. She's a tax analyst, a guru. She's all that. She's a sweet grandmother. She has 2 sons, but we'll talk about them in a minute. My friend I'm so honored to share with you my friend, Franchesca Ross Jones. How are you doing?
Hi, I am good. How are you? How are you all?
Well, we are doing good. Did I say it right? Is it Ross Jones?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm proud of myself. But, like I said, I've watched you on social media, and I met you a few years ago at a seminar before we started our business, teaching us how to start our business, teaching us the best way to make it operable, teaching us about income taxes, teaching us about, it's called tax sense credit.
It's common sense.
Common sense credit.
Common sense.
Yeah, well, taxes ain't that common sense to everybody, and
No.
we'll talk about that. I wanted everybody to meet you so they can see some or hear some of the things that we need to know as far as starting a business. So we just want to welcome you here, and I'll let you tell them about your sweet sons and your grandbaby.
Oh, thank you so much. So I am so blessed to be the mother of Dontavius Scipio and Derek Scipio.
Okay.
And the Mimi, the new Mimi, yes, of Miss April Ross Scipio.
So Miss April Ross, our grandbaby's the most precious thing in the world.
They are absolutely amazing. And I think she's stolen my heart, but I think she's stolen Granddaddy's heart a little bit more.
And and I hear people say all the time that it gives us an opportunity to do it over. I don't know what it does. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
When Dax and Ivory are in my presence, I get to spoil and send back. I get to say, now you see what I had to deal with you. Let me, like their grandparents used to do. So I see how, and I wanted to bring them up because I do see how they are the apple of your eye. But I really wanted to talk to you because, as you know, my husband a few years ago started a business. He's a owner operator of his own trucking company, Bell Transport, and we're just blessed and thank God. Yes. But I wanted you on here because, again, common sense ain't always common sense, about how people need to be aware, because I think we're in this era where they're thinking we just get our CDLs and we'll just start a business.
Yes.
And when I met you, you were sharing with us some of the A, B, C's, and D's of making sure you need to have your stuff together as far as your credit and all of that. Yes. So tell us about becoming an entrepreneur. First of all, talk about one of your businesses, the tax business first, and then we're going to talk about the school. As an educator, I just want to be bubbly, overflowing with that one. But talk to me about your first business.
Okay, so my first business is Common Sense Solutions. We are a single member LLC. Have been in business since 2015. That's actually when I launched that particular business on my own. And I had been a tax preparer for years, since about 2010. Right. And in that business, I manage a number of tax professionals, business consultants, credit consultants. We like to think of ourselves as a financial services boutique and a business boutique, because whatever it is that you're needing, we know how to help you in that area. So whether it's your personal taxes, your business taxes, your personal credit, your business credit, running your business, starting a business, operating a business, you are very aware that, people don't understand you're in business, but are you being profitable? Right. Let's take a look at what works and what doesn't to get you to that next level. So just having gone down this path myself, being able to share with others, start to continuing,
right.
you know, really what it takes. And it's not just about having a wonderful idea and just jumping out with it, but we want to make sure that we are coming up with the right business entity for our business, right?
Yeah.
That we're getting the proper licensing, that we are paying our taxes, right?
You said something off camera that I really think that people out there in TV land need to hear. Everyone does not get a refund.
Oh, no.
Ask me how I know.
No.
But I think we have given this misconception
Yes.
that at the end of the year, we expect, now I'm not saying that some people don't deserve refunds.
Right.
At one time I was one of those people.
Yes.
And, you know, and I remember myself complaining about my tax refund is decreasing. I told my daughter the other day when she was telling me, I said, child, if I could just get $6.
Yes.
Forget $6,000.
Right.
But I think we have sent this false sense of that everyone gets a refund. And we talked about this too. Don't just go to the person that'll give you the biggest refund. Go to the person that will make sure, because there's no 100% guarantees, but they will make it their business to try to offset any auditing you may get.
Yes,
so let's talk about how to choose a tax preparer, because you're out of Montgomery, but I'm sure you serve more than people from Montgomery. Let's talk about how to choose someone to do your taxes. How would you go about the selection process?
So for taxpayers who are joining us today, which is everyone,
right.
is a taxpayer, one of the things that I encourage you to do is visit irs.gov. There is a P10 directory there. So if you look at your tax papers at the bottom of the second page of your 1040, you should see your tax preparer's name. You should see a P10 number. That is their filing number. That lets the IRS know that they prepared that return and that they're filing it for you. If you don't see anything there, that does not hold the tax professional liable at all. And just because you have a tax professional listed, that does not recuse you from being liable for what's on the tax return. There's a misconception that everyone gets a refund.
Yes.
And no, everyone does not get a refund. I have been in this profession for well over a decade. I am an annual filing season program participant with the Internal Revenue Service. So I take continuing education. I do continuing education throughout the year. I take this very seriously. The laws are always changing when it comes to taxes.
Yes.
And you want to make sure that you are visiting a professional who is going to not only look at what is the refund you should be able to get if you're entitled to one, but also maximize those refundable and non-refundable credits that may possibly be available to you. And everybody's situation is unique and it's different. And I think a lot of times we think, oh, a tax refund signals growth. Most tax refunds are derived from the earned income credit.
Right.
And key word there is earned income. Right? So we have passive income, we have earned income. I'm sorry, but if you received a 1099 from unemployment, it may be $14,000 and you have 3 kids. Well, that $14,000 is taxable income, but it definitely is not counted when we're calculating the earned income tax credit. And a lot of people don't understand that part either. So there are so many elements.
Because then they get mad at you when they don't get a big tax.
Yes, they get upset with you when they don't get a big tax return. Or, you know, sometimes it's not even about getting a big tax return. How do I plan? You know, and so I do tax planning as well. How do I strategize when I'm a business owner to maximize, right, what deductions I can take? That's so important. And we don't look at it. We just kind of take it and say, oh, well, my cousin received this, so I should receive that.
Right.
And it just doesn't work
well, why
that
I
way.
didn't get this, because she got that. And I'm going to tell you something. I've talked to several people about starting businesses because, of course, my husband, he's recently started. And I think people need to hear this, too, because I am a woman of God, and so when it comes out, that resonates in my spirit. I personally believe that God granted us a certain amount of success because we were lined up in the kingdom.
Yes.
And so he was able to pull some of the weight from God because of what he did before then. So I'm a firm believer that we didn't just jump out there and he became the smart truck driver. And
Yes,
I just think because he was a good steward for so many years, it's just like anybody. You can go now and call upon God and say, hey, I've done this, you know, am I warranted this blessing? So I need the people to know that too, whether you believe in God or not, or if you're a tither or not. That's just our belief.
Yes.
But talking to people who are even in business, they never pulled a profit loss statement.
No.
And if you're not pulling a profit loss statement, you may be getting all this money in. Like my husband, I handle the books, they're so funny. And my son works for him right now, and God, he's training him. He's in school getting his, finishing up his degree because he wants to have multiple trucks.
Yes.
See, we're more seasoned. My husband, he's looking to do short driving.
He's
Within 5 years, he's just, but he wants to have multiple trucks. He wants to hire. And he's young, so he'll take risk that at our age that we may not take right now. And we're going to support him doing that.
Yes.
But what he hears from his mom is that every month I pull a profit loss.
Yes.
And so my husband may be out there doing these things, but things come up like we have to pay for this or unexpected mechanicals or things that happen. And I'll say, well, we'll take the profit toward the loss, and this is how we did this month. And so they're not doing that. And so you're just out there running a business, not realizing you may not be making as much as you think if you don't pull a profit loss statement. So we talk about the taxes, we talk about what it takes to run a successful business, and you're having a class come up concerning some things like that, right?
Yes. So my husband and your husband share a common passion, and I think my vision and his vision, just like you said, they're totally different. So I have the vision of the multi-million-dollar trucking company, and we have all the trucks and all this, everything. And he's like, no, I'm good. I just, I could be the driver. Maybe we'll have one other truck on the road, but that's all we need. And I think a lot of times you hit on something so important. Profit and loss statement. As an entrepreneur, it's so important to understand and realize that you will have good months. Sometimes you will have not so good months. And you need to be able to balance them out. So as money's coming in, you can't take everything that's coming in and spend it back out. You have to prepare for those times, and that's a great way to look at it. Those monthly reviews, those quarterly reviews, it's so important to do that. And a lot of times,
and there are programs.
We just don't.
There are programs out there that will help you with that. We do QuickBooks. I mean, we just monthly subscribe to QuickBooks. I just do a quick analysis of what we brought in and what we spent out, and then it'll break it down into detail. Exactly. You just click a button and it breaks it down into detail what you're spending it on. And the reason why I'm spending so much time talking about this with someone who is more versed in it than I am, because I learned so much from you that day, was because we had a issue that arose that my husband, who had one truck, was out for 3 weeks. Now think about if I wasn't pulling our profit loss statement, I could have been freaking out. He may have been thinking about, oh, I'm not at work, but I was able to say, honey, I pulled everything monthly. We're okay. We're going to be able to do what we need to do, because when you look at profit loss statements, and I say that again because so many people who are watching this probably never even heard of one, you'll get to see, you get to plan for those days. And as a business owner, you have to plan for days when they're not so good. So tell us about that training that you'll have. Is it next month, end of this month?
It's actually the end of this month. So I'm super excited. It's February 27th. It's a Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you follow me on any form of social media, you can grab that flyer as well as get the link for the class. But it's so important. I know here in Montgomery, in the city of Montgomery, we've had a lot of changes with licensing, and we've had a lot of small businesses affected because they found out that they aren't licensed properly. They don't have the foundational license that's required in order to have the city license to operate in the city. And it's just business. So it's called Let's Talk Real Business, and we are going to touch on running and operating a business successfully, the business entity structure, setting up your bank accounts, your taxes, your personal credit, how that affects how you're going to move in your business. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people hear, oh, just get an EIN and you can get all this business credit and all this business funding. I hate to tell you guys, but you definitely have to make sure you're in a solid place with your finances in your personal life, because it's so hard to get funding if they don't see you moving on the personal side of things, you know, in a positive way. We also want to talk about the do's and don'ts of social media.
Please.
We want to talk about, like I say, filling out those forms, paying taxes, just everything you can think of, from operating a business to hiring employees, whether they are W-2 employees, independent contractors, just what that looks like, and just kind of do away with some of those myths that you just, oh, I started a business. There's so much that goes into it. Like you say, are you being profitable? What's coming in? What's going out? Let's look and analyze what's maybe not going the way you want it to go, and how do we correct that? So I'm excited about it.
And what is needed to start your second business? Because one thing I learned about an entrepreneur, my friend Cornelius, who's he told me this. He said, an entrepreneur is always thinking about a way to open another business.
Yes.
They never think about a 9-to-5. And so I'm not saying that they all don't, but that's just always edged with me when he said that.
Yes.
So shifting gears just a little bit, because I am, you know, we could talk about the do's and don'ts of businesses all day, and because I'm so excited for my own personal family. It's personal for me, and we're learning a lot, and I'm still learning. I don't pretend to know a lot of it, but I know I hire someone else to do my taxes. And I'm a math person, and I'm proficient in numbers, but I'm smart enough to know that there are some credits or some things that are going on now in this season that I'm not aware of. I'm not proficient on tax law and all those guidelines. So pay the extra money and go get someone to look at it. But let's talk about this one-on-one. One-on-one, I love it, technical college. School that's just doing great here in Montgomery. Started out of Phoenix City, I think is where you were saying the base school was?
Yes, the main campus is located in Phoenix City, Alabama. It is owned, and it was founded by my good friend, my sister, Shakia Miller.
Okay.
She's the chancellor now.
Right.
And the
Moving on to bigger and better
dean.
things.
Yes, and so we started OneOnOne Technical College of Montgomery back in April of last year. Actually, the grand opening was a wonderful birthday gift for me. My birthday is April the 5th. We had our grand opening April the 6th.
Good for you.
So we just wanted to bring, I definitely wanted to bring to my area. This is where I was born. This is where I grew up. And I saw a need with the pandemic, with everything that's going on. Every individual does not want to do the traditional 2-year or 4-year college, right? So OneOnOne Technical College provides the opportunity for any individual, whether they are newly out of high school. We actually have, if they're in their last semester of high school, they can actually start and complete a course, and they can, we've had some students to do that. They'll be graduating from high school and graduating from here at the same time. And it just provided an opportunity for affordable education. So we have everything that we offer now, which we're looking to expand on those trades that we do offer, but it's medical and allied health. So we have phlebotomy, pharmacy, medical billing and coding, medical administrative assistant, clinical administrative assistant, and patient care tech and pharmacy tech. And all classes can be completed in 12 weeks or less. We don't have a course that's over $2,000. We offer affordable payment plans. We have third-party financial assistance available, but the need is here. The need is here. We saw so many people go through this pandemic, and whether it was by choice or not, they were displaced from their job. You know, you have a mother who's been on her job the last 15 years. Well, the pandemic comes through, the factory closes. This is all she knows. Right. So where does she start? Where does she pick up? How does she provide for her family at this point? And this was a solution for many people, and it continues to be a solution for many people, because they don't have the time to spend, going through a whole 2-4 year education, but we are providing opportunities to get that trade in the medical industry, which why did we choose to start in the medical side? Hey,
a need.
We have a need, and if we didn't know it, we really saw it with the pandemic.
We do. It's just like everybody need to go be a math teacher or a science teacher. Not going to get a lot of amens on that, but because there's a need, and you always need to look for the need. So excited about that. Love that. I have, again, my own son, very intelligent. He wants to be a business entrepreneur. So, we allow him to voice his own path.
Yes.
And so now he knows why he wants to do it. Not that he just wants a degree. Now he knows why he wants it, because he wants to run a successful business. But you are right. This pandemic has exposed some weaknesses in our nation about employment. Not everybody. Now, there's a lot of people that are not taking advantage of jobs, and I think we see that differently. And some people just want their own.
They do. We've seen an uptick in entrepreneurship. And
correct.
I think it's so important. I think about the millennials, our young people, and I'm very passionate about young people. I have 2 young people of my own, which they did choose the 4-year path, like Mom. I have a chemical engineer, and I have my baby graduates in May from Alabama A&M University in Huntsville, and his goals and aspirations are to work in government. He wants to work with the FBI or with the NIA. So he has his own path that he wants to follow, as well as my oldest son. But as a parent, whether they chose that 4-year university or not, my job is to support them. And so even though their path was different, I tell a lot of people, we have to listen to our children.
That's right.
So if it's your decision that they go to a 4-year university, but that's not what they're passionate about, it's not in their heart,
you're going to spend a whole lot of money.
Yes, you're going to spend a lot of money. So what about bringing them over to OneOnOne, and let's do a tour. Let's talk to the dean. I love when people come for a tour. I love to talk to people, whether it's via Zoom or having them come in and do a personal tour when the classes are in or nobody's here, and just see if your child, if this is a path they would like to take. I tell you, I would choose, if that were the choice, rather than spending $20,000-$30,000 for education. If I could spend $2,000
versus 20,
yes, and my child have a great, not just a job, but a career.
Right.
I'm excited about the statistics from my school as we're approaching year number 1.
Because numbers are the biggest thing to see if you're successful.
They are. I have 91% employment rate. 93% completion rate for people who have come through the programs here. And so that tells me that when God planted the seed and he gave the vision, that I'm on the right path.
That's correct.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think, people who watch this show know I give all glory to him.
Yes.
Whatever your belief is, find a belief, believe in something.
Yes.
I love it, being an educator. I'm talking to young people every day who say college may not be for me, Dr. Bell, and I can steer them, and I talk about technical colleges or 4-year schools, or if they want to go to 2-year schools. I tell you, we need options.
Yes.
And I think what OneOnOne gives is students the opportunity to have options. So we'll recap. Tell us where your tax office is located here in Montgomery.
So here in Montgomery, we are located at 1231 Perry Hill Road, Suite A.
Okay.
You can reach us at 334-219-6030 at www.makingcommonsense.com.
Okay. And OneOnOne Technical College, if they're interested in that, you can go ahead and tell them how to locate you there.
Okay, so OneOnOne Technical College of Montgomery is located at 434 North McDonough Street. You can reach us at 334-239-8841. And you can also visit us online at www.oneononetechnicalcollegeofmontgomery.com. And you can also, when you go online, you can go to inquire. You can put in an inquiry form as far as our programs, and we'll get back to you. Just the interest form.
Just to see if it's for you or not.
Yes.
The part that I really loved was that students, and so this just came to me. Kids can go to your school, their senior year, and then they get there, they graduate, and they say, oh, I may want to go to the 4-year school. No love lost. You've just, and so I like that because it gives them the opportunity to make a choice. I think that we really, the difference between successful people, I think, and people who are not successful is just opportunity.
Yes.
And making a decision and choosing what's right for you.
Yes.
Everybody knows my motto. I'm a winner because I choose to win.
Yes.
Life is about choosing and your options. So I appreciate this time with you, just sharing your knowledge, just, giving us, again, I pay people to do my taxes, so it's not like I'm not giving advice that I don't take heed to. Go and find someone you can trust.
Yes.
And let's recap. Let's not always look for the biggest refund,
yes,
but for the person who will spend time explaining to you. I love the fact that you told them to go to the IRS.
Yes.
Check behind you.
Yes.
Look for these numbers.
Yes,
and if they can't supply these numbers, you may not want to be with those people.
Yes, ma'am.
And so nowadays we cannot afford to make mistakes, and we have the knowledge here. We have free knowledge. Stuff. You have free workshops and seminars, teaching people how to do the right thing.
Yes,
so if you want to learn more, do what she told you. Go to her website, call in, make sure you can try to attend the seminar she'll have February the 28th?
27.
27
yes,
from 10 to 2?
10 to 5.
10 to, oh,
yes, ma'am.
Listen, you're going to get
all
plenty
day.
of knowledge. Yes, and that's what we need sometimes, though.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Franchesca.
Thank you so much,
appreciate
Dr.
having
Bell.
the time to talk to you.
Yes.
You have one of the people that I look up to. You're doing great things. You keep up the good work. I am so proud of you, girl. And that is not a cliche. Again, thank you guys for watching us. Be on the lookout for a couple things we got going on. I told you on last week about the Bell Factor. I told you about a couple books that's coming out. One that's called Leaders Shift. You know you're a leader. There will be some shifting that takes place. It's a workbook. It's a companion to Choose to Win where you have to do the work. And not that I'm overlooking that. I'm excited about that project. But the Bell Factor, believe in yourself enough to empower yourself so you can love yourself enough to let go. It's going to be something that God puts in me for me. So I cannot wait to share it with you. Thank you so much again for watching. Thank you so much for being my guest. As always, I am so grateful and honored to come into your home. And if you have a story, don't forget to go to fnfministries.org and tell us about it. We love it. We love you. And again, if you have an opportunity and you have to make a choice, you know what to do. Always make a decision to win, because winning is a decision and it's also your choice. Take care. See you next time.